Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Listen, this is what's happening. You brothers are doing an excellent job in some things, not in some others. But with the soft guy era and the drizzle drizzle, you're making waves. My wife's American friend made mention of it in the car yesterday. And I knew it got her bothered, it got her worked up. I began to tell her that it was a satire and that it was a response. And before I could even get to the part in which I explained to her that Drizzle Drizzle was a response to a practicing witch's call of Sprinkle Sprinkle, who openly advocated for deception of men, using men, giving men nothing but a hard time in exchange, and just completely devaluing men to get the money. She interrupted. I didn't get that far. And I thought and decided, well, even though she has said to my wife, black mind's a real man, keep him, girl. And I appreciate the compliment. I really do. And even though she does encourage good in my wife, and I appreciate that too, I really do. The fact remains that I had to accept at that point that this is not going, that me trying to advocate, me trying to inform her and help her was not going to work. Wasn't going to do any good for her. If I tried to tell her, it wouldn't work. Because she'll interrupt and interrupt again and interrupt again and interrupt again. It's not going to work. You can't tell someone like that nothing. She's a strong African-American woman who's independent, don't need no man for nothing. And she's very sure, even when she's not right. We've all known someone like that, even when they're not hateful. And that's one of the things that makes it hard for many of you to tell some folks you know what they need to know, because they're not hateful to you. And you're not telling them this side of hatred, but you know it's going to get them riled up. And eventually they probably will hate you and just be cussing you out, foaming at the mouth, because you know what? They didn't want to hear it. So I said, I cannot return the favor this way to her. As good a friend as she actually has been to my wife and respectful to me, I cannot return the favor to her of educating her because she's going to cut me off and never mind. But it does tell me this, though. The message is getting out because you have an American not living in America that knows what's going on and is bothered and should be. And I want you all to keep it up. You can either maintain a wall of silence, as Lionel McTow was said, or you can be one of the voices to which they cannot reply, but they must listen, like Kevin Samuels was. And you keep saying soft guy or drizzle drizzle, fair is fair. Either one. This way they have a choice. They either go with the drizzle drizzle soft guy era, or they're shut out and they're not approached at all. That's it. This is what they deserve, believe you me. The message is out here. You've got men in big cities talking about simps, and that's a good thing. The English word is the one that's being used even when they're speaking Arabic. Keep it up. If you don't fight back, and my wife did say to me yesterday, Black Mind with you, it's always about fighting back. But if you don't fight back, you can't keep things fair. You've been financially objectified and all kinds of non-sexually objectified all the time. And you've been told not to sexually objectify any woman. And you know what? There is a double standard. If a woman calls you up and asks you to go and bail her out of a particular situation, then you look and say, well, would she do something similar for me? It ain't got to be them draws, but would she do the same thing? Like if you ask for a favor and it's not sexual, would she do it? And if it's valuable to you, fine. Then that's when you can go and help her because she's actually being an authentic give and take friend. But if she's not, she's the type that will say, I don't feel like it, or I got something going on, I can't do it, no, but you're supposed to be there for her, then you know what? No, you don't do it. And it is different than going and helping your boy. Because you already know your partner, when he calls you up, you can call him up. If you couldn't, you wouldn't be there for him in exchange, and he'd eventually know not to call your ass. That's the difference. With chicks, you might have to tell them, you might have to show them you'll be there for them as long as it goes both ways. You got to make them understand that. And that's why I say it is different. Because there are enough chicks out there that will sit up and try to use you in every non-sexual way and turn around and use some other dude only sexually. And that's not really a loss for him, at least early on. I mean, you got to understand, they got these, you have to realize that the level of sexual hatred you're dealing with and facing. I read a post where this chick one time said that she called some dude over to smash because she knew she had that gangster. And she said that the reason that she came so hard was because she knew that she was trapping him with a disease with which she'll never get rid of. So she got off on that. That is hatred. She's not the only one. I want you guys to realize that. That's why it is that you have to think about whenever you get the booty call, what's the trap? What's the hook? That's why you got to think about the hook, because it's always there, because they hate you. You're the one for whom it could just be a booty call to relieve some stress, and that's it. You don't hate her. You can't take seriously, but you don't hate her. And no, if she's willing to satisfy you, there is something in it. Or she's not even willing to, it's a robbery and a setup, whatever the case is. That's why it is. It's because of a hatred. It's not chastity. And it's not even because, well, as women, they have the womb, so they're naturally picky. That's not really that's not what's driving them, because if that were the case, the baby daddies wouldn't be the baby daddies either. You're facing a situation in which they hate you, and they plot and they plan accordingly. So go ahead and keep the soft guy era and the drizzle drizzle message going, and keep on making them understand that it's time for them to pay like they weigh, especially when they wait and get old. You keep putting that message out there. Now, this is free. If you want something worth paying for, and it's worth it, go to Buy Me a Coffee. And you can do a one-time donation, because the messages that I upload there stay up for about 25 to 36 hours, sometimes a whole 2 days before they become available to the subscribers only. But I would recommend you go ahead and get a subscription. The reason being, not because I'm greedy. This month I am, but not generally. But I would recommend it because what I upload there for the subscribers stays available into perpetuity. This is how I maintain fairness in between those who donate and those who subscribe. This is the way that I do it. So with that being said, what I gave you here, you're welcome. It's free. Keep it up. This is feedback from abroad. But there, I plan to upload to BMAC. I plan to upload a message about the kind of mindset that you don't want to take with you if you're going to leave the West and live abroad, especially in the traditional area. The mindset that can cost you, and what it can cost you. What it can cost you, and what it can cost brothers that right now are in their teens and can be old enough to become passport bros or SYSBM later on, and how we can prevent leaving them a bad situation, because it's already started. I hope that what I've said to you is of benefit. Thanks for listening. As always, Black Heart, Black Mind, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum, Black Heterosexual, Non-Select Male Power because they don't like it, Black Patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Keep jetting black with us here at Jet Black Airways, where the phrase jet black is also a verb, until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice forever.